Don't You Understand? By Beth Patch. At this they began to argue with each other because they hadn't brought any bread. Jesus knew what they were saying, so he said, "Why are you arguing about having no bread? Don't you know or even understand yet? Are your hearts too hard to take it in?" Mark chapter 8, verses 16 through 17. It's a great day when I only make one trip from my house to my car as I leave to go somewhere. Unfortunately, I usually go back inside, sometimes more than once, to get my keys, phone, sunglasses, or whatever I forget before leaving. Like me, the disciples forgot something too, but their situation was far more pressing. In Mark chapter 8, they were headed on a boat trip across a large lake without enough food. It heightens the angst they must have felt about it when, before leaving shore, they spent a good part of the day in the middle of a bread miracle as Jesus took 7 loaves of bread and a few fish, thanked God for them, broke them into pieces, and had the disciples distribute the multiplied food to thousands of people. After gathering basketfuls of leftovers at cleanup time, they immediately got into a boat with Jesus, without bringing a bread supply. These men couldn't go back to shore to get the food supply they left behind like I can when I forget something. They were probably blaming each other as they realized their dilemma. Yet Jesus was in the boat. The one who had just made plenty of food out of a tiny amount was right there. After all they had just witnessed, didn't they know he'd provide for their needs? Didn't they realize they had nothing to worry about? And Jesus asked them this question, "Don't you know or understand even yet?" I imagine he asks us the same questions. And I will confess that there have been many times when my concerns indicated that I didn't understand either. Even though I've witnessed God's provision and believe he can do the impossible, I still find myself worrying, just as the disciples did. Maybe the real struggle isn't just about forgetting what God has done and can do, but about fearing the unknown, the discomfort, and the suffering life brings. The disciples didn't want to be hungry, just as we don't want to experience loss, pain, or uncertainty. But Jesus doesn't promise to remove every hardship. Instead, he offers something greater, his peace. That's why Jesus reassures us in John chapter 16, verse 33, that peace comes from knowing that no matter what happens, he is with us. Jesus said, "I have told you all this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world." John chapter 16, verse 33. I believe the road to understanding is found in this passage of John 16. We can have peace in Jesus. It's not peace like the world offers. It's an everlasting, deep peace that doesn't come and go. It's the peace that realizes you don't have enough food, but God's in control, and whatever happens, he'll be with you. Questions for reflection. Do you realize that due to your faith in Jesus, that ultimately you have nothing to worry about? What types of things can you do better to understand what God is trying to tell you?